Hello, beautiful souls. So I wanted to create a video on long-distance twin flames. Twin flames who are in some kind of long-distance connection or relationship. So this could be twin flames who just met and happened to be at a geographical distance from each other. So they are now sharing this twin flame connection from far away from each other. This could also be twin flames who were together but then physically separated and are now in a long distance kind of connection. And the reason I'm creating this video is because, well, first of all, I feel like kind of an expert on this specifically because my twin flame and I, when we first met, were very geographically far apart from each other. So many of the early signs and symptoms and synchronicities of this twin flame connection that I experienced were at a distance. And when I began researching twin flames after meeting my twin years ago, almost 5 years ago now, I found that there wasn't a lot of information on signs you could experience as a twin flame at a distance. In fact, there were even some people saying that you couldn't really truly consciously experience twin flame signs when you were separated at a distance from one another, which I found to be very untrue, because I experienced a lot of strange, unexplainable symptoms associated with the twin flame connection, but not really talked about in the context of being in a long distance connection with your twin flame. So I hope that in this podcast, if you are like I was in some kind of long distance connection with your twin flame, you will feel validated, seen, understood, or maybe find some kind of piece of information that helps you better understand this connection and what you are experiencing. But before we get into all of that, I just want to introduce myself because I know that many of you listening here are new to my channel. So if you are, welcome. I am so grateful to each and every one of you for being here, for co-creating here with this community on this platform with me. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. If I do resonate with you and you enjoy this content, please do subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you get updated whenever I post new videos. So what do long distance twin flames experience? Let's just try to move in chronological order here. So let's say that you met your twin flame at a long distance. So you had to meet on social media or through some kind of virtual platform, or maybe you met on a vacation or somewhere very serendipitously and then just stayed connected in some way. Regardless of how you meet, usually twin flames meet in some kind of very coincidental way, to say the least. Sometimes under very strange and unexplainable circumstances, other times because maybe they were somewhere they didn't plan on being and then suddenly met their twin flame. Usually there's some kind of strange circumstance, some form of mystery surrounding your meeting with your twin flame. So even if you meet one another over social media, which is, by the way, very possible, usually it was some kind of strange thing like, I don't remember following you, or you don't remember following me, or friending me if we're talking about Facebook, or whatever it is. So usually there was just something strange that seemed to kind of bring you together. Or if not that, then you just felt so pulled to them. I know twin flames that met over social media because it's like they saw a photo of their twin flame and just instantly felt, I have to get to know this person better because in my soul, I already know this person. This is my person. There's just some kind of magnetic pull that traverses and overcomes any possible obstacles in order to bring two twin flames together, even if they are at a distance. Now, I just want to pause and say here, part of why I'm sharing this video is because right now on the planet, more people are waking up than ever. And because more people are waking up, more and more people are becoming spiritually aware enough to call in their twin flame connection, which is why we are experiencing this huge wave of twin flame awakenings in connection to these mass spiritual awakenings on the planet. Many of these twin flames, just because of the nature of our society, the way in which we all have phones, we all use social media, we're all very virtually connected to one another. It only makes sense that many twin flames who are separated at great distances would be magnetized, would be pulled to one another through some virtual medium, through their phones in some way, because there is this magnetism between twin flames, and this magnetism exists in lifetime after lifetime. So as we experience this awakening, as we come into our own power, our own authenticity, our own voice, we naturally begin to magnetize our twin flame, whether we realize it or not, whether we consciously think that we want it or not. It just gets pulled to us as a result of our spiritual growth and evolution. And again, I'm not saying that everyone has a twin flame, because not everyone has one. I'm just saying that if you do have a twin flame and you are starting to come into your own, spiritually speaking, you will begin to magnetize this connection into your life. And that may even be what led you to this video today. So I do feel it's really important to talk about this social media, virtual, long distance kind of aspect to the twin flame connection, especially at this time. So the second thing, I guess moving chronologically, that happens with long distance twin flames is that when they connect, even if it's over text message, I was about to say this bond is formed, but that's not accurate, because the bond has always existed, but they become almost instantaneously aware of this depth of connection that exists between them. And small talk usually doesn't last long. For twin flames, it's like even when you are pretending to try to just kind of small talk in the beginning, there's always this awareness that so much more is going on beneath the surface, that you are connecting in such a deeper way than those seemingly insignificant words that you're speaking to one another. And again, this kind of connection can be felt. That is one thing I do really want to emphasize through this video. You don't have to be speaking to your twin flame face to face or even talking on the phone in order to feel the depth of this connection. You can feel it through a phone, you can feel it through a message, you can even feel it just looking at someone's photo, someone's social media profile. Because this is an energy, and energy doesn't know time or distance. We share our energy through our virtual platforms, through our social media, through our messages, just like we do through our words, our vocalized words. So you will be able to, in your heart and soul, recognize the familiarity, the depth of this connection, even again, if you are just liking each other's photos, following each other, or messaging each other over social media. Like I said, for twin flames, often this small talk doesn't last long, and very quickly you may find yourself breaking wide open to this person. If you begin to message, again, since this is a long distance video, if you're talking over social media or over text or whatever it may be, you will quickly find yourself sharing childhood stories, sharing your most deeply seated and formative memories, sharing your hopes and dreams. I remember when I first started messaging my twin flame, we would ask each other questions back and forth. And this went on for like days, where we would just take turns asking questions. And we actually just texted like this for like a month before we even spoke on the phone. And I feel like for us, this was our soul's way. Of course, I didn't know we were twin flames at the time. I didn't know that term. But this was our soul's way of essentially catching up. I mean, I feel as though we already knew all of these things about one another on like a soul level, but it was like this conscious game of catch up. Like, where have you been? Where have you been all my life? What have you experienced? What have you seen? What are your hopes and dreams? It was like the start of us building this physical foundation upon this energetic, unbreakable, eternal bond that always existed between us. So that's often what it feels like when you're first getting to know a twin flame, and you will find yourself insatiable when it comes to talking to them. You will just want to talk to them all the time, message them all the time, hear more about their life, their world. You will be so eager to get to know one another. You will find yourself feeling these kinds of intense emotions through the phone, even just through messages. Powerful emotions, emotions that will make you laugh out of nowhere, bring you to your knees with releasing some kind of grief or hurt. It's like you will feel so much processing through you. It's my belief that the reason many twin flames at this time are connecting long distance is actually because they are energetically preparing one another at a distance for the intensity of the connection, because of course the connection is very, very intense even at a distance, but it becomes even more so in person. I feel personally this is why I met my twin flame at a distance first, because it was so intense even from far away. It's like the emotions processing through my heart chakra were so strong, they would literally at times bring me to my knees with tears of happiness sometimes, tears with just releasing all of this. It's like my whole life I'd had this underlying restlessness, anxiety, waiting, searching for this person, for this connection, even at times when I wasn't consciously aware of it. And then when they're finally standing right in front of you, or I should say in this case, when their name is on your phone, you're communicating back and forth, it's like you just feel such an intensity of emotions. This is also when I began to experience my heart chakra activation or awakening. So oftentimes twin flames at a distance are kind of experiencing this precursor of what they will continue to experience even more intensely in person. So you will feel yourself getting just, I can't iterate or say this enough. It's like you will feel so emotional about this person, about even their smallest message to you. And you will want to share everything with them, and you will want to hear everything about them. And the next thing is, just like in person, how twin flames can be swept up into the fifth dimension, meaning they lose all concept of time and space. This can happen when you are on the phone with your twin flame, or even over text message. You can have this experience of just completely losing track of time, feeling like time is literally evaporating around you as you talk to this person. For me, this often happened when I was on the phone with my twin flame, because I shared this in one of my other videos, but our voice carries soul resonance, carries the frequency of our soul. So because twin flames share the deepest form of soul resonance imaginable, when they speak to one another, they really have a way of sharing, passing back and forth a huge amount of energy. I often call this an energetic merge or energetic exchange, and it happens the most intensely when they first meet because they aren't accustomed to it. They haven't integrated these energies. So often this flood of energy will flow through us. Again, it can come from our twin flames' words, their voice, even just them intentionally, energetically focusing upon us, connecting with us consciously through social media in some way. This can literally cause us to raise the vibration of our being to the point where we are swept up into these higher energetic realms, like the fifth dimension, which again is why we can lose track of time when we're speaking to our twin flame, even long distance. The next thing about twin flame long distance is you can feel more committed to this person you barely know and are connecting with at a distance than you have ever felt for anyone you've dated, even in person, which sounds strange, but I know some of you out there listening have experienced this, and it is a really real thing for twin flames because it comes down to meeting this person, feeling this intensity of emotion and this almost obsessive, insatiable need to get to know them, to know everything about them. This causes a kind of single-minded focus energetically on this person that makes it really difficult to then redirect that energy to some other kind of romantic connection. It just feels pointless. That's the best way I can describe it. However, the one exception to this is I'm kind of speaking from the perspective of the twin flame and the connection that is more awakened. Again, there's no negative or positive here in these labels, just the one who is further along on their spiritual awakening journey. Because not always, but usually one twin flame wakes up first, spiritually speaking, and then acts as kind of the teacher for the other. So usually the quote-unquote unawakened twin flame tends to be more unconscious to the connection. Not always, I'm overgeneralizing. This is just a common experience. So sometimes this less awakened, unawakened twin, unconscious twin can still be connecting with a third party and may not be feeling, or I should say acting in ways that are aligned with commitment in this twin flame connection. So even though they feel all of these intense emotions, if we are blocked off or blocked off to these emotional experiences, or very, very wounded, very much in our egos still, we may not be necessarily committed to our twin flame, especially early on when we first meet. However, from personal experience, I had already gone through a little bit of a spiritual awakening. And when I met my twin flame, I just knew. And prior to any kind of commitment, again, we were just texting. We hadn't even spoken on the phone. I immediately told there were a few other guys I had been casually dating. I immediately cut them off and said I'd met someone else and I wasn't interested in talking anymore, and that was just it for me. However, I do know this can be experienced differently by different people, but I know many of you will connect with this experience of just single-mindedness after meeting your twin flame, even long distance, just being purely, solely, completely energetically focused, especially romantically speaking, on this connection, on this person, being very single-minded about this person. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this video here. This feels like a good stopping point. I also do want to say, if you are in a separation with your twin flame at this time, and perhaps this separation is physical, you are just far apart from one another physically, or maybe it's an emotional separation, or maybe you aren't in communication. Regardless of where you're at on this journey, I have created a 7-chakra twin flame clearing subliminal. So this is designed to clear out any energy blocks in any of the 7 chakras that may be preventing you from fully opening yourself to this connection, fully giving and receiving that unconditional love flow within this relationship or connection. So to try out this subliminal meditation completely free for 7 days, you can sign up for a 7-day free trial account on my website, my membership-based subliminal site, Sound and Soulful, where I've created over 130 subliminals for all areas of life. So you can check that out in the link under the pinned comment and in the description box. Thank you so much for sharing this time and space here with me in this video. If it resonated with you, please subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast.